And with all of the pre-existing sabotage that's already been going on with the food supplies, that really could kind of capitulate a lot of the electorate towards just complying to whatever the continuity of government, national emergency declaration is. As for the actual result, I mean, that's a little bit more of a midterm possibility based on all the momentum. Is I do think that the weather and the food supply is going to coalesce together. There's going to be some, because they need another bulwark in line with the whole climate change thing. They need some sort of mass weather event. People for the past 10 years now have just been blaming any kind of irregular weather or temperature swing on quote unquote climate change or global warming or whatever. So they're going to try and run with something along the lines of some sort of disparate weather pattern. In terms of the actual election, I think the whole mail-in ballot fiasco, I think we're going to have a sort of a suspended result for a while. I think they'll initially claim it for Trump, and then there's going to be, oh no, look at all these new ballots that are coming in. Like, you'll see, it'll be like
the Facebook data say.
Right, what does the Facebook data say? And then just like the chartism that we've had to follow with the case count and the death toll and everything, they're going to start doing a graph contest between Trump and Biden. And then in the meantime, massive volatility is going to enter the markets. Huge swings, probably downwards, but lots of reaction.
Market stoppages.
Market stoppages, bank holidays, capital controls, all that stuff is going to start at the end of this year.
Rigo, what do you think about this about face with the WHO and what is going to happen between now and the election and maybe thereafter?
So, more on the just cynical political side. I'm going to say that I still believe that Biden's going to win. I do, personally, I hope whoever wins by a landslide. Although I don't believe that'll happen just because of I just don't think that we have a place where our country, 60% of the people agree on anything. Right. So I think believing that it's going to be contested is very, very realistic. I don't think we're even going into crazy land, even getting close to it by saying that's going to happen. Right. Since we have major political operatives in both parties saying they're going to say yes. Both have said, or their proxies have said that if we lose, it was stolen. Both sides have said this. Yep. So they're already setting the groundwork for being illegitimate, which is, I think, very dangerous for the country in general. But this is as far as assuming Biden wins. I will say that I think as soon as Inauguration Day hits, it'll be like, well, we've been following the science. We're going to follow the science. Science says lockdowns are bad, so all lockdowns are lifted. We are now, all this, and we'll take full credit that, hey, everything's better now. You elected the right people. So everything is better now. And look, we follow the science. We did what science said. And it'll be able, this is from a purely cynical political point of view, we'll be able to say, hey, remember when you had the people with the wrong letter by their name? All those people died and you were locked in your house and you were miserable. Now you have people with the right letter behind their name. Everything's been lifted. It's as if science itself smiled on your election choice.
Do you think in that whole equation that Biden actually dies by the COVID and then it's Kamala Harris and then they try to flip that script? Because interesting take.
So I was talking to somebody the other day and
like a murder.
So I was talking to someone the other day and I'm like, well, what happens? And this was actually when Trump came down with it. I was like, what happens if one of the president candidates dies before the election? Because you can make the argument that it's like, okay, well, people who've already voted, they voted for a ticket. So you can make the argument that it doesn't matter because they voted for the ticket, and the ticket meant that they were saying that guy's first. If something happens to him, that person's next. Right. So you could say that, but it's like, what about the people who haven't voted yet? Like, do you suspend the election? Do you not? I think we're dealing with people that are getting quite old, and I think they're both past the average life expectancy. I think life expectancy is 73.
Right.
So they're both in prime level to
People of that age die all the time.
not survive 4 more years. So I think that would be politically advantageous. I mean, if that happened, I could see if, let's say, Biden got it, and I don't wish harm on anyone, but let's say he got it, he died. I do think that it would be turned into some sort of weird martyr thing, and it'd be like, as the last death for this terrible disease, and for that reason we need to all take vaccines.
And then let's look back. What did Biden say? What would people wear their wristbands? WWBD. What would Biden do? And he said, wearing a mask is your patriotic duty.
Yeah, you could easily see that happening. But I genuinely think the first thing is most likely is that I keep joking with my wife saying that I can't wait till Biden is inaugurated so the coronavirus goes away.
I can't see it happening when world leaders, they're all on the same page saying we're never getting back to normal without the vaccine, and everyone's already signed on. The money's been spent. They're developing billions of doses. So I love your scenario.
Yeah.
I love the guy with the dementia in the White House. I love it. I love it, but I don't see it happening.
Hey, I mean, we'll see. The good thing is these are one of these predictions that it's not like a 20-year prediction. This is like 2 months.
No,
I do think 100% though. 100%, Trump will win day of, and then it'll be like a trickle. And I think that honestly that matches with the data that we've seen is that Democrats are more likely to do the mail-in voting because they're terrified of dying, and Republicans are more likely to go day of and vote. So I think that's what you're going to see, and that's going to make the Republican side think that the election was stolen because they're going to be like, we won, and it's like, well, I mean, this could all be legitimate, and like, no, you didn't, because all this stuff is coming in.
It'll probably go to the Supreme Court.
I mean, there's a good chance of it, but I mean, neither side wants to manage expectations in any way. They want to act. They're still acting like we're gonna know, November 4th, 5th. I don't remember. Still acting like they're gonna know day of, like who wins. Like realistically, if you wanted to calm people down, you would start saying on these major television shows, "Hey, most likely we're not gonna know for possibly weeks, months." I mean, they had they had a minor election in Brooklyn, New York, and they were dealing with that for weeks, months. It was a small little election. They were trying to deal with the counting of that, and it was all mail-in voting.
But they want us divided, so they're saying what they're supposed to say.
Yeah, I mean,
they want us killing one another.